Yes, hello, Dr. Tillawi. This is Brother Freedom here. I want to ask you a question about the local radio station.
Yes.
Okay? You have KVOL with Michael Savage, who's pushing this whole thing, and Sean Hannity every single day talks about Sharia law. Do you think that these, especially these two talk radio shows, do you think that they are trying to foster hate against the Muslims, or are they trying to get their people out to the polls to vote against Obama, or what's their motive? Thanks very much.
Thank you. Excellent question, and I thank you for bringing that point. The Sharia law. Number one, it's all of the above. But the main thing, they want people, when they go to attack Iran, they want people to be already on board that it's a Muslim country, let it go. That's what they don't have now. So with the, by the way, I used Glenn Beck because he is the star of that bunch. He is the star. But you have Sean Hannity and Michael Savage and Rush Limbaugh and everybody else pouring in the same direction of hate the Muslims, hate the Muslims, hate the Muslims. Number one is going to work to their advantage in November. But the main thing is, when they go to attack Iran, people will be on board. Let's talk a little bit about the Sharia law. Number one, as you are, if you're familiar with the program, I always tell you, whenever you hear a foreign word, always try to translate it, because it will sound much better when you hear it in English. Like when you hear the word Allah, you know, well, to your foreign brain, it doesn't register right. You call him God, but if you say God, then it's much calmer because you understand that one. And with Sharia, you know, if you don't speak Arabic, you know, you think when Sharia, you know, it sounds like, whoa, Sharia. You know, you get scared just listening to that word. Now, if you translate it into English, it will be legislation. Legislation based on religious doctrine. We have that in the United States. Ask the diocese. They have many laws that are based on religious doctrines. Mainly laws that have to deal with civil disagreements between people, that mainly have to do with marriage, divorce, of course. You know, Catholics don't believe in that, but they found a way around it. And also inheritance and many things. Now, let me tell you, let me educate you, ladies and gentlemen, because they also count on you being not educated in those matters. When they say, we don't want Sharia law in the United States, do you have any idea what it takes, ladies and gentlemen, to change one small legislation? Do you know what it takes to introduce a law in the United States? And if you are to introduce Sharia law, that means you have to actually change the Constitution. Do you know what it takes to change the Constitution? Do you know what it takes to have an amendment to the Constitution, or to change an amendment to the Constitution? Plus, we have something called the Bill of Rights. That one, it cannot be changed. But let's go with the ones that can change. Number one, Sharia law, it's so huge that to introduce it to the United States, you need probably about maybe 10, 15 years of doing nothing but introducing bills, or maybe more. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what is more important, to change an amendment in the Constitution, that means you have to be in total control of Congress. Now, when do you think the Muslims in the United States will have that kind of power to control both houses of Congress 100% so they can do an amendment? Anytime soon, like in the next 10, 15,000 years? I don't think so. On top of that, they would have to control the media 100% so they can sell you on these ideas and drill on your head and program you to accept Sharia law. Now, do you think anytime the Muslims will have the Zionist power in the United States where they control the media anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen? No, not in the next 5,000, 6,000 years. And at that time, you don't have to worry about it. Well, the other way to actually have Sharia law here is everybody in the United States would have to be a Muslim. Now, when do you really think that's going to happen? Anytime soon? Anytime that you need to really be worried about Sharia law, all Sharia law is legislation based on religious doctrine that deals with inheritance, divorce, and money. If you never, and marriage. So, do you think, and on top of this, even if Muslims somehow, they control both houses of Congress, they control the president so he can sign that bill, they control the media, they control money, and on top of that, once they introduce this thing, it will not apply to you. You know why? Because it's religious doctrines based on religion, and if Islam is not your religion, then you don't have to worry about it. Okay? So do you see all this fuss they're making about Sharia law? You know, I thank Freedom for calling in, and because you see that on signs. No to Sharia law. Michael Savage. Sharia, we don't want Sharia law. Well, that's what it will take, ladies and gentlemen. I just explained to you how Sharia law will be introduced. Do you really have anything to worry about? But if you look at these signs, if you look at the mainstream media, if you look at Glenn Beck, if you look at Sean Hannity and everybody else, these idiots, these programmers, that's how the media program your brains. They got PhDs, people who have doctorates in many fields, in psychology, in sociology, in religion, in this and that, who will design, you know, just like a computer programmer, and sometimes programmers will sit there and design a huge program. The powers that be have those people working for them, and they are designing programs just for you to go into your brains. The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, they are working on is they want you on board when they go to attack Iran. That's it. We go on to the phones, even though I'm not really sure which ones, but we will go with one on line one. And we'll see who's on line one.
Yeah, amigo.
Amigo, welcome to the program. We got like seconds.
Okay, Doc. I can't, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, listen. My observation